When I went to school, I learned to write and how to read, some history, geography, and home economy. And typing is a skill that every girl is sure to need to while away the extra time until the time to breed. Then they had the nerve to say, what would you like to be? I says, I'm gonna be an engineer. No, you only need to learn to be a lady. The duty isn't yours for to try and run the world. An engineer could never have a baby. Remember, dear, that you're a girl. She's smart for a woman. I wonder how she got that way. You get no choice, you get no voice. Just stay mum, pretend you're dumb, and that's how you come to be a lady today.
By the 1970s, feminist leaders pushed for laws that would protect women's civil rights. They demanded equal opportunity in employment, and they blamed the educational system for holding them back.
We're being discriminated against in many places, especially in education. There are a lot of difficulties now for women who are trying to get into graduate schools.
You think that if you were a man, you'd be able to get into those graduate schools?
Yes, I do.
It was perfectly legal for a law school to say, we will have a quota. We will only admit a small percentage of women. For any institution of higher education and any professional school to say, we don't need to admit women, we won't admit women. After Title IX was passed, that was the battering ram that opened the door.
Ratified by Congress in 1972, Title IX was closely modeled after the Civil Rights Act. It prohibited federal grants to schools or programs that discriminated on the basis of gender.
Passing the law was the first step. The next step was getting that law enforced, and we saw that it was going to take a lot to get the government to enforce that law.
As with Brown, the law is not self-implementing. It requires enforcement. And if the enforcement isn't very good, the laws remain on the books, but not yet a reality.
Gender bias was deeply entrenched in American education, beginning with the earliest readers.
The worldview that girls and boys learned from those early textbooks was one in which girls and boys didn't do the same kind of activities. Boys were strong, boys were masters, boys were active, girls were sweet, girls were passive, girls watched, girls helped. And even though you were just using that little cute book to teach a child to read, you were teaching the child what to think of the world.
In the upper grades, girls were often steered away from high-level classes in science and math. Boys were encouraged to excel in sports. Some school districts spent up to 450 times more for boys' sports than for girls.
What I was really interested in doing was playing basketball. I don't think I was really interested in larger issues. I wasn't really interested in women's issues per se. I was really just interested in playing basketball because that's really what I enjoyed doing.